Are we on? Are we live? Are we rolling?
We should have been recording that because that's brilliant life advice that you were just giving.
I can't remember what it was.
No, I can't either, but I'm sure it was great. Right.
And remember, kids, when you're in a bar and someone reaches for a beer bottle to smash you in the head, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because that bottle's going to shatter and tear his hand into pulp. Goodbye fingers, goodbye tendons. Life isn't like the movies.
So, as usual,
I'm going to do the entire interview with this voice, because this is my lady killer voice.
This is
Would you like to sit
Metrocon
closer to me, TJ?
2018.
2018?
2018?
The hell did that happen?
Well, see, time goes on, and
We
by
had that
like a
talk.
minute at a time, as it turns out.
Yes, but we have metric time in Canada, so it's different.
Okay, well, we have standard time here. Standard time is 2018.
How many 2018s go into a kilocentury?
We'll have to do the math later, because I have a stopwatch running now, and I don't have my... He has a waffle.
I have a waffle.
I don't know why I tried an intro anymore.
I'm going to sit quietly in the background and not say a thing. It will finally be revealed that Scott, in fact, actually does not have a top to his head. It's a flip-top lid, and the small sentient creature that powers the machine is sitting there going, "No cameras."
Okay, I have to ask you something eventually.
All right.
That's what we're supposed to do. This is the tradition.
Of me wasting time on camera.
Absolutely.
We're burning paper. Paper, we open in a year.
But no, now we can finally discuss the reason you weren't here a couple of years ago, because it's on Netflix now. People have seen it. Woody Woodpecker is now a thing.
Woody Woodpecker, the movie.
Tell me what it's like to play Simon Bonesteel again.
Yeah, thanks a lot, TJ, for totally bringing that up. Scott hasn't played an original character since 1973. He was a little Bonesteel-esque, and when I went in auditioning for that, it was like, you know what, I kind of got a pretty clear idea on how this guy should be. We played around with it a lot. Of course, you know, the southern waltzes, the eyes were completely different there, boy. And of course, my thought processes, if you will, were completely different. But yeah, it was Bonesteel. It was a terrible moment. I still cannot say the word bird, though, without one. Bird. What do you gotta do now? Bird.
But
A red pileated. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. We're tired.
I've been sniffing Sharpies all weekend.
I kind of like the idea. It's like he got tired of dealing with the city and the giant turtles, so he's retired up north now. He's got a nice, cushy internet poaching job. You know? Might be under an alias now, but yeah, this is kind of...
He's been living with Elvis at the Burger King.
You didn't know Woody Woodpecker and Ninja Turtles, the same universe.
Mind equals blown. You heard it here first. With TJOmega.
So, I guess since that one's current right now, I'll ask you if you're more inclined to the on-camera work these days, or...
It has just kind of worked out this way. Like that summer I did Woody, so... I mean, that was a good part of the summer was spent on that film. I did a film with Arnold called Why We're Killing Gunther. And a bunch of that was cool because it was the summer that I got to do comedies. Because on camera, I tend to play people that are fairly scary and terrifying, as opposed to the weird, scary, and terrifying people that I do in the normal world of cartoons. So that was the summer. It was like, okay, I was having so much fun. You know, and then this last year, of course, I did Riverdale and Take Two and a bunch of other stuff. Mostly Riverdale, because I was a regular on that. Which was not funny.
No, not really.
No.
No. I read the Archie comics, and I thought I knew what I was getting into going in. No, I've entered the darkest universe now.
Yeah, they went, okay, let's take Archie, and let's take Twin Peaks, and let's mish them up together. Oof, what do you got, Riverdale? It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
That's why I had a beard last year, because I was right in the middle of Riverdale.
Yeah, I recognized that.
It's amazing how many people online have gone, no, that's not Scott McNeil, because he's not wearing a hat.
Well, you keep saying it's surgically attached.
Well, no, it's not surgical. It's surgical implants that the rivets go into. I tried. Excuse me. Wow. I think a bird just flew into my lung.
Oh, jeez. There's one flying around the hotel.
That was
Maybe
probably
it
it.
probably is.
But, oh, hello.
Just like a Disney princess. Just hawk them up and they just fly around. So,
I am a Disney princess.
So, as you are a veteran of the voice acting
What?
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 You're a veteran of the voice
You're
acting
mumbling.
world.
Kid, you're mumbling and music.
Your hearing aid's out again, Scott.
What? Let me stick a waffle in my ear.
Fold it up into a cone. Yeah, there you go. You're a veteran in the industry, Scott.
I have syrup draining into my brain. All right.
How is that any different than normal?
That explains a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I guess I am a bit of a veteran in the industry now.
Okay.
Or as I like to call it, crusty old fart.
How much of it has changed over the years?
It has. I find it baffling, well, not baffling, but I find it really fascinating that I now, and this has been going on actually for a long time, but these amazing worlds that are created, you know, Pixar universes, and you know, filled with everything that you see and hear, and the sensations and the thoughts and the feelings that it's all evoked, don't actually exist. And I mean that in a Newtonian way. Physically, there is no mass. There is not a single atom of Disney, or a single because it's all ones and zeros.
Right.
Everything that is recorded digitally. Everything that is created visually is recorded digitally. It's just all binary code. There is no mass. If science could single out and find the Pixar molecule, the Pixar atom, if you will, and contain it, but it doesn't exist, other than, like, you know, copies of stuff. But the actual kernel of the creative thing has no mass. You cannot put it on a scale and weigh it. Whereas, you know, it was hand-drawn cells, and we used to record on tape, which you had to edit by cutting it. You know, it was still in the studio. So like, just leave me room to get a razor blade in between those. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, the engineer that's saying that doesn't really know why he's saying it.
Right.
It's like, no, that used to be how you did it with a razor blade. Wow, I'm old. We didn't have no fancy microphones. You held up the tape and you yelled at it. And you yelled loud enough, your voice stuck to the tape.
So, knowing what has changed, what's the same? What's still stuck around? What is legacy?
The legacy is it still takes a very strange brain to do what we do.
I haven't noticed.
It's, you know, it's still a wonderful, crazy, magical, and insane realm. It's gotten a little more sedate. You know, some of the shows are a little more sort of corporate controlled. So it's not so much a case of, hey, crazy people, we're going to put you in a blender and see if some awesome rises to the top. It can be a little controlled now with a lot of, can we have him do that line again? But maybe come up at the end of the eye there. You're like, okay, take number 4,322, go. I think some of the magic has been knocked off it a little bit. But then, you know, that varies from show to show and everything. And then when you do get on something that really sparkles again, it's like, this is so much fun.
Have you had that recently?
Fun?
Yeah.
What
Here at
years ago?
Metrocon in day 4. Have you recently had fun?
Yes. This has actually, for the record, been one of the best Metrocons ever. And that's because of you guys. Like, I've just, even today, which is usually the shambling undead, because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to myself. Everybody's just walking around, like, radiating awesome. Like, just radiating, like, amazing, like, yeah, let's go. I love this place.
We keep coming back. We must.
They don't let me leave. I have a small cot down in the basement that I stay in for the rest of the year. Sometimes they let me come up and see the sun for 7 minutes, and then back to my cellar I go. Record more cartoons! That was a cool sound. I must find something need to use that.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything.
That's
so
where my
do
right tonsil used to live.
That's in my audio now. I need to use that.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's copywritten? That's my sound! Well, the pop people actually got a hold of the licensing rights. And so, universe, how did they get the licensing for everything?
Oh.
That's my bucket list thing. I want to find out.
Yeah. Oh, I bring a message.
Of peace to you and your planet.
Peace. No, my buddy Keith wants to thank you for your work on Beast Wars.
Ew.
Because he's been a lifelong fan of that show, for at least as long as the show's been on.
Or what we refer to as a lifer.
He did not know you did 4 characters until last month.
Really?
Really?
You know what? The ultimate compliment for a voice actor. So thank you to Keith. I once had an engineer go, this guy, you know what? You're the only guy that sometimes I have to look up to see who it is. Which is so amazing.
Yeah. But that show's got it's still such a legacy. Like, I'm sitting here right now, I'm waiting to be charged like over $200 for a Dinobot toy.
Seriously?
You have the most expensive transforming Transformer at release ever. For 6 months. And then the big purple Megatron's going to take over.
Right.
Yeah, so it's... but 6 months, for 6 months, you've got the record.
Sweet.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the show stands. You know, in my entire career, I've only ever watched 2 shows I ever did, Beast Wars being one, or Beasties in Canada. And then I did another show called League of Super Evil, which I still watch, because it's just funny. You know, and it's like completely distanced myself from the fact that I was in it. It's like, oh, it's a funny show, I like this one. And Beast Wars, I mean, it stood the test, because we kind of knew we were involved in something really kind of special then. Because a lot of times, you know, especially in that era, Saturday morning cartoons were save the world in 22 minutes, sell some action figures, and then move on. And admittedly, we were still selling action figures with Beast Wars. But suddenly, you know, it started to kind of parallel what you would get more in anime, which is these story arcs and the character development. That was all Larry and Bob, who were the creative corrector, the script masterminds.
Sunday.
Who created this world. Yes, it certainly is Sunday. And it's been a 4-day con, so it's both Sunday and Monday, all at the same time. But they just created this universe, this world that was so interesting. And then the animators, or animators, if you put the emphasis on the correct syllable, although animator sounds a bit artisan, you know, they brought this world so much, they weren't just making characters move, they were making the characters, you know, and then, you know, we had a chance to work with these amazing scripts, and the cast was ridiculously great on that show. And we were, like, proud of it. I still am. People just go, what's the best thing you've ever done your whole career ever? And I'm like, I don't know about the best thing, but we certainly liked it, and we're still sitting here talking about it, and that was over 700 years ago.
Wow. It's been that long?
Animation was done with stone tablets and chisels, frame by frame. Those guys were fast.
I'm just imagining Flintstones characters doing animation now.
That's all I'm ever going to see now.
Yeah, that's all it is. Okay, another series. So, I don't know if you noticed, I know you noticed, they finally did the reboot.
Yes.
They rebooted, and it's not reboot.
I don't know enough to really opine on it, but I will anyway.
Sure.
I just find it ironic that in the sort of the progression of computer-generated animation, especially in sort of popular terms, there was the Dire Straits Blockhead video, the Money for Nothing video,
right.
And that was done by Gavin. And so the next thing they did essentially was reboot. So reboot brought that to the forefront, and it was a seminal show as far as that went, and the context of where it took place in the computer. It really opened up the awareness for CG in the computer world,
right?
From an entertainment point of view. Then many years later, skip to the future. Hello, George Jetson. Hello, we're in the future. The future where everything is in the past. In the future, a show about computer-generated animation will finally be rebooted as a live-action show. What? Am I right? Like, I don't know, I haven't
It's
seen much,
half
but I'm
live
going...
action, and
Okay.
it's half CG animation.
Right.
But the original cast doesn't show up till like the last episode, and the plot has absolutely nothing to do with Reboot. There's actually a French cartoon called Code Lyoko that has far more similarities to it, which is interesting.
Interesting. Those cowardly French with their parkour and their wingsuits.
Something for a lawyer to speak of. Okay, one last thing.
One last thing.
This is a very simple question because...
Boo! Monkey.
Nope. It's been 10 years.
Monkey poop.
It's been 10
Bananas.
years. No.
Bananas is monkey poop.
Okay, no. See, he had his medicine.
Into the vein. Oh, thank you.
Since it's now been 10 years since we first encountered each other.
Ah, that one crazy night in Tunisia.
Don't tell them about
He's
that
a
part.
remarkably gentle man.
Not that part. It's not. Do you still have the head pop waspinator?
I do.
That makes me
When I
happy.
said I do that day, I meant it. I do.
We have to go now. Thanks for watching. This has been TJ and Scott at Metrocon 2018.
Your mother and I are very proud of you people.
Bye.
Bye now.